I'm back. It's Phil here from MTG Kiwi Philosophy. I've been on holiday and I've had a great time, but now I'm back and I'm bringing you yet another deck tech. This is my version of the mono blue tempo deck that's hanging around standard at the moment. We'll start with our low cost and we'll work our way up and talk about our combos as we go. Alright, well let's get into it, and we're going to start with 4 copies of the Mist-Cloaked Herald, 4 copies of Curious Obsession, and 4 copies of Siren Stormtamer. So the Mist-Cloaked Herald gets its Curious Obsession, it gets extra damage, it gets draw, and of course we've got the Siren Stormtamer for extra damage and also protection for this combination. Along with other protection for that combination, we're also going to have 4 copies of Dive Down and 4 copies of Negate, and also 4 copies of Merfolk Trickster. Now the Dive Down's great, gets protection for our cards, and Negate's great, also another form of protection, great for countering board wipes, anything like Ritual of Source. And Merfolk Trickster is fantastic, being able to flash that in and give us an extra damage in combat, and being able to nerf one of our opponent's creatures is fantastic. Alright, well let's move on to the next card, and next card we're going with 4 copies of Charter Course. Charter Course is a fantastic card. Of course, with Siren Stormtamer coming into play the first turn, we're going to be able to attack the following turn and be able to draw some cards and gain some advantage from there. It's also another advantage being able to attack with the Mist-Cloaked Herald as well, and getting card draw from that card. And Charter Course is just an all-around great card when we've got lots of creatures that have evasion as well. Of course, let's move on to the next card, and the next card is 4 copies of Tempest Djinn. Now the Tempest Djinn is a great card, a 3-drop card that can be pretty much powerful once it gets right onto the board. I mean, the lowest possible it can be is 3/4 for 3 flying, which is really awesome. And of course, being able to slam this into play in mid-game and being able to attack with it means there's some serious damage going on if we can protect it from being removed from the battlefield. Alright, well let's move on to the next card, and the next card of course is Wizard's Retort, and we're going to have 4 copies of this. Wizard's Retort is a great card once again because the Siren Stormtamer and the Merfolk Trickster are both wizards, so we're going to gain that advantage there. But what's going to be really neat is when the new set comes out and we're going to be able to use Essence Capture and replace it or even just add it to this deck. Essence Capture is going to be brutal for this mono blue tempo deck. Being able to give a +1 counter and counter a spell is really cool. I'm looking forward to seeing where that takes us in the new year. Alright, well let's move on to the next 2 cards, and that is 2 copies of Sleep and 2 copies of Warkite Marauder. Now once again, the Warkite Marauder is a low end creature that has evasion and can nerf your opponent's creatures and help you get into some damage. And of course Sleep's just an all round great card that can nerf all of our opponent's creatures in play and tap them down and allow us to have a couple free attacks. Okay, well that's the main deck. Let's get into our lands and our sideboard. So let's get into the lands. Lands are real basic, and we're going to go with 22 islands. Our sideboard, we're going with 2 more copies of Sleep, 2 more copies of Warkite Marauder, 4 Spell Pierces, 4 Ops, and 3 Essence Scatters. Anyway, this is my version, and I hope you've liked it. Smash that like and share, subscribe button, and I guess I'll catch you on the flip side. Ciao.